Welcome to the most listened to golf in the world, the Fairways of Life show, on air, online, and around the world, with the most candid interviews, unforgettable stories, taking you beyond the ropes. Here's your host, New York Times best-selling author, Matt Adams.
What is going on, folks? Welcome to the 72nd PGA show. We're going to jump right into this. Jeremy Stone is here with me. He is an SVP for marketing for Titleist. He is holding the brand new Pro V1 golf balls in our hand. You heard me right, brand new Pro V1s for 2025, and we are super pumped to talk to you about this. Jeremy, we were having a conversation before we went on the air today, because I'm honest with you guys, and I'll tell you about it. I think the Pro V1 is applicable for everybody. But I think that there is a factor of people not understanding that while this is the best ball for the best players in the world, this is also the best ball for all players in the world. Let's get into the details. Why? Good to see you, my man. How you doing?
Great to see you. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
We're going to be on TV all day today, aren't we?
Sounds pretty good. I'm excited for it.
We'll be on here. We'll be on Golf Channel in a little while again. Let's talk about the Pro V1. What did you do? Why'd you do it?
Yeah, so Pro V1 and Pro V1X, they represent our very best options for golfers of all skill levels. As you mentioned, it starts with the best players in the world. What are they looking for? And what they told us over the last 2 years is we love the Pro V1 and Pro V1X. Often they say, don't change a thing. We're not wired that way. So what they did say, when you really pull it out of them, they say, gosh, you know what would be great? A little bit more short game spin, a little bit more iron spin. Tour players see spin as control.
Yes.
And so the question was, could we do that without impacting the incredible performance off the tee? So a reformulated core, it's a high gradient core that you see here.
Can you see this,
and a
Steven?
high gradient dual core. And so what we did is, due to the high gradient, we added some speed to both cores. And what's interesting about speed is, speed's good, gives you what you want off the tee, but it also gives us some spin. And that's an unknown element about golf ball construction, is all these pieces work together. And so when we added that speed, we added that spin, but the high gradient technology allowed us to keep the spin low in the long game to maximize distance.
It's unbelievable. I hope you guys were able to understand the stuff that Jeremy was talking about there, because these layers have reasons, and I want to go through it. First of all, I want to talk about the Pro V1. Could you talk to us about the profile? Steven, our ace cameraman, is shooting the cores of this as we're speaking. You brought us examples of the same. Could you talk to us about how this symphony of technology actually works?
Absolutely. So every layer of the golf ball is going to influence performance. If you change one, you might see performance changes through the bag. That's what makes golf ball fitting and construction so complex. Pro V1's a three-piece golf ball. You've got a core, we apply a casing layer that adds speed but also reduces some of the spin, and then we put a soft cast urethane cover over the golf ball, and that increases the spin, particularly greenside. The Pro V1 has 388 dimples designed and laid out so that we can optimize distance through the air. More of a mid-trajectory if you're thinking about different flight characteristics as opposed to Pro V1X. But each of these layers is going to be influential in different shot types. All the layers working together is how we create low spin off the tee, but maximize it greenside.
Beautiful. I would like you to do the exact same thing with the Pro V1X, and then I want to give you a heads up of where I would love to go with this. You started to allude to which ball is right for which player.
Certainly.
I'd like to go down that road. I'd like to go down the road of your stable and the best in the world and what they're using. But before we do that, I'm just telling you that in advance, my friend.
I love that.
First of all, let's go through the technical side of the Pro V1X, just like you did the Pro V1, so we understand what's under the hood.
Yeah, so Pro V1X, it's a dual core. You can see how we have multiple layers here, and what that allows us to do is Pro V1X spins more than Pro V1 into and around the greens, okay? Often misunderstood. This is the higher spinning golf ball with irons and wedges. But what the dual core allows us to do that you can see here is it allows us to create an even higher gradient. So higher gradient just means on the Pro V1, softer in the middle than it is on the outside. We can really accentuate that when you have two different core layers. You can make a really soft center, a slightly firmer outer. That takes spin out of the more high-speed shots like a driver, your fairways, your hybrids. So you can keep the spin down off the tee while adding it and increasing even more spin into and around the greens.
Oh my gosh, this is very, very cool. I hope you guys are digging this as much as we are getting into the technology, the Pro V1 and the Pro V1X. I just told you exactly where I'm going. The profiles of performance of these two respective balls. Can you broad brush it for me and say who's best suited for which? And let me tell you something before we go too far. I've been fitted for the Pro V1. You have to go through this process to do it yourselves. But I've played the Pro V1 forever and found out that I'm best suited for the Pro V1X because of the spin profile. But with that,
we did have some fun with you, Travelers Week, I think
really
it
neat.
was. And I'd encourage everybody to find a fitter because that's the best way to go through this. But if you can't, right? So how do we do this as the average golfer just saying which golf ball to play? I always tell everyone, start with Pro V1. It's going to deliver just about everything you're looking for. It's mid-flight, mid-trajectory. It's got really soft feel because of the solid core construction, and it's going to give you great greenside control. And then you can understand as you assess your game, okay, is my golf ball rolling off the back of the green or am I sucking it off the front of a green when I hit an iron shot?
Yep.
Think about a 9-iron, a wedge. And now you can assess, okay, on my scoring shots, let's say you are having the ball roll off the back. I might go to a Pro V1X. It's going to give me higher flight, so it flies higher due to the aerodynamics. It also has more spin. It's going to create more lift, get the ball up in the air as well. That does two things. More spin, obviously more stopping power, so it'll stop on the greens faster. But the added height creates a steeper angle of descent. That also helps you stop the golf ball. So two elements are going to help you stop the golf ball here. And really what you want to do is fine tune it because you might find with Pro V1, no, I'm spinning it too much. Then you might go to a Pro V1X left dash. That flies high, but it has even less spin than both of these products. So we really have something for everyone. Start with a Pro V1, assess how your game is reacting to the golf ball through the bag, prioritize the scoring shots, and then we can adjust from there.
what are the options for people that are interested in any of this in terms of making sure they're fit for the proper ball for their game?
Yeah, we have a growing array of options for a golfer. The simplest right now, you can go to Titleist.com. You can do our golf ball selector tool online. Self-service, it takes about 5 minutes, answer a couple of questions. We'll make a recommendation, but there's nothing better than hitting golf shots. And so we have a golf ball fitting app now. It's out. Any property that's utilizing TrackMan technology, they're going to be able to give you access to this fitting app. They can guide you through a process in as few as 12 swings, half wedge, full wedge, 7-iron driver. We're going to make a data-driven recommendation for your game based on what's going to help you score your best. And then we're going to ask you a little bit about the feel because we know how important that preference is for confidence. So anywhere that has a TrackMan can run you through the golf ball fitting app. Really accessible option. At the top of the house, we do have 9 regional fitters running around that do a really in-depth 90-minute tour level fitting. Much more difficult to find access to that, but if you can, it's an extraordinary experience.
It really is extraordinary. Now, extraordinary golfers play each of these balls. I thought it'd be a fun place to finish here. Talk to us about the stable and who's playing what.
Yeah, so and I'll talk a little bit about who's playing what, but also the adoption rate on these new golf balls has been exceptional. We've got 4 wins around the world since we introduced it in the fall. These are the #1 models in play already on the PGA Tour. We're starting to roll out on the LPGA Tour now. It's been extraordinary. So you start thinking about who's playing these golf balls, right? You've got Cameron Young, who's more in a Pro V1 construction. You think about Cameron Young, high-speed guy, looking for control. He also prefers the soft feel of the solid construction. Then you start looking at a guy like Justin Thomas, had a really nice week last week. He's playing Pro V1X. The reason? He hits it high, but he's low spin as his launch conditions dictate. So he utilizes the golf ball to put some spin into his bag through the bag. So just 2 examples of how guys are looking for something. Cam Young looking for a flatter trajectory. Justin Thomas looking for more spin. That's how they're using the golf ball to help them maximize their performance.
It's awesome. You will see it across the globe. You will see it from the very best players in the world. And as I've been stressing, it is likely the very best golf ball for you. It's just a question of which one of the Pro V1 family, and you can find out specifically. Just get started the Pro V1, as Jeremy was discussing, get an idea of dynamics and performance, and then narrow it in from there. My friend, always good to see you.
Pleasure.
Good luck with the new golf balls. I know everything else that I saw over at Titleist yesterday is absolutely awesome, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in a couple hours on the Golf Channel side.
Sounds great.
In fact, I'll give this back to you. And we will be back, folks, with more of this PGA Merchandise Show, 72nd edition of the show. We'll be back with more right after this.
I got ball fit in 2000, went on a little run. Then Bridgestone fit me again, and I went on another run. I just got fit again for the new Tour BX. The ball fitting's been helping me. Will it help you?
Every January, PGA Tour Superstore pros meet every manufacturer, learn about the latest equipment, log thousands of hours of training, and together hit over 100,000 balls. All so they can get you the perfect fit.
When you choose Newton shafts, you're choosing more than a product. You're choosing innovation, pride, and excellence right here in America. We pay attention to the minutest of details, and you can feel that in the performance of our shafts.
I think when you're training for other sports, or why most people go to the gym is so that they can have muscles and be strong and be healthy. And a lot of the reason why they struggle to play golf is their body doesn't move properly for them to be able to hit a golf ball. And when you're training for golf, it's a little bit different because you're focused more on flexibility and mobility and being strong in motion. When you're able to kind of have a warm up and have a workout routine and kind of gradually build up to where you're training your body to move properly, yeah, you're going to get a lot of big dividends on the golf course.
Our journey began with a simple yet powerful vision to provide the world with the highest quality Virginia-type peanuts. The Hubbard Peanut Company, where quality and tradition meet to create an unforgettable experience. Visit hubspeanuts.com to explore our full range of products and place your order today.
Super easy to hit. Introducing the new PXG Black Ops irons, our first game improvement iron.
It's a larger face heel to toe.
It launches the ball high in the air and really far.
Much higher levels of forgiveness. You set that club down, creates a lot of confidence. It's supported by this X-Core column material.
And that's where you get improved ball speed. If you're looking for a distance, forgiveness, and feel, Black Ops iron is going to be for you.
PXG, nobody makes golf clubs the way we do, period.
Stride by Zero Friction, the first of its kind personal caddy. Walk in comfort and style with Stride's remote and follow me technology. The Stride handles almost any terrain, and its 54-hole range will last all day. The lightweight design and removable front wheels makes it simple to handle. Plus, it easily fits golf carts. Pick up your Stride today at a local PGA Tour Superstore near you or at zerofriction.com/Stride. Stride, your personal caddy.
We are back. 2025 PGA show, and we're going through the best equipment in the world. We made a commitment ourselves that when we were here for the Fairways of Life show, we were going to focus on the stuff that you guys wanted to see. We're going to focus on the stuff that you are interested in. We are already hearing back from you guys through every medium saying, thank you for giving us a glimpse at this stuff first, but even more importantly, you guys are appreciating the depth of information that we're giving so that you can make decisions as to what will be best for your game. Chris Foch is joining me from Mizuno. We have had the chance to talk about Mizuno product for so many years, and with the virtues of your product, you already know how I feel about it. Mm-hmm. I feel like Mizuno irons are in many ways jewelry. When I look at this, what I love is this is subtlety. I see the relief on the heel. I see the beveling on the back side. I can see the pre-blunted front side to it. I love your treatment of the top line. This is the new 925. I'm just holding it up here with the camera so they can get a really good look at it. And then we have the 925 with the dark finish as well.
Yep.
It's gorgeous, dude. Could you talk to us about these?
I'd love to. It's such a fun launch for us. Obviously there's all the things with Mizuno in terms of getting the shaping right, the feel right. But what's awesome is the subtle technologies within this. It features our grain flow forging on the face and the neck. It's going to give you that great feel. But actually the way we're forging it now with some new machinery, we're going ultra thin on the face, getting down to only 1.5 millimeters. Typically there's a drawback of getting that thin if it doesn't feel great. But with our processes and how we're doing this, it still delivers on that Mizuno feel.
Yeah, I'm just holding the face up so it can be seen very clearly by Steven's camera over here. That face, how are you adhering it to the rest of the club? How are you building this around the chassis?
So with Mizuno, we always forge the face and the neck together. If you're wanting to get that feel from a forging, you want that continuous grains, you want it to go as long and as far as possible into the club. So as opposed to a lot of the forge clubs out there where the face is a different part, we are forging the face and the neck together.
Gosh,
so we're applying the back piece only. Really just the back cavity edge is what we're putting on. So that's the only part that's a separate piece. But that allows us access when we're forging it to to go ultra thin on the face, but still deliver on those feels that people are looking for.
Those feels that you're talking about, that buttery soft feel that you have when you're playing a forged club with the name Mizuno on it. Could you talk to us about that process? Because forging is by its very nature a brutal, very powerful process of tremendous amount of PSI down to a single spot. But you guys end up creating something that isn't at all brutal. It's gentle and it's beautiful and it performs and it has, as you called it multiple times already today, the feels.
You're right, and that's something that we own as Mizuno, is that forging process. You know, obviously the difference in forging and casting, the liquid going to a solid versus a solid in the solid. We, on our grain flow forging process, we use a hammer press to do our initial forgings that gets us to the rough shape. But then there's a precision forging stage that utilizes a hydraulic press. That hydraulic press is a much more controlled press that allows us to really accurately dial in not only head shapes, but really thin faces, which is something you can't do with an old school forging process.
Beautiful. Can we go under the hood on this? Can we start with the cavity and you talking about the technology?
Absolutely. So we always start with the actual cavity shape. You know, if you look at how it's reinforced, there's a lot of reinforcement across the top line, a lot of reinforcement on the bottom. On this bottom side, we're pulling that center of gravity deep. We're putting a little bit of weight towards the toe, which helps boost the moment of inertia. So ultimately, it's a club that's going to launch high and still give you that spin that you need. But then on that front side, the grain flow forged chromoly face and neck. That chromoly material, it's a super strong material that still has the ability to be forged. Typically, when you go so strong, it's hard to forge it. We figured out a way with working with our manufacturing processes.
It's absolutely gorgeous. Now, I was showing the audience, and we had some of the beauty shots that you sent to us too, with the different finishes on these irons. I mean, this is just flat out gorgeous.
It's great. And with Mizuno, we typically don't dip our toes in the multiple finishes. We've had some limited edition stuff, but this is the first time we're launching this black ion finish as a full inline product. If you want to get custom fit, you then choose whether you get the black version or the white version. It's a finish that is really striking in the bag, and a lot of people have been super excited about it.
It is super excited. I'm excited about this iron that I'm looking at too, because this thing is made for business.
You're not kidding on that. This is the Mizuno Pro S3. S stands for signature. This is almost a throwback to old school forging and old school technology. While I talked about how thin we went on this one, this is about maintaining thickness. It's about feel, it's about precision, it's about control. So again, grain flow forged whole body, and it's utilizing a 1025E Pure Select mild carbon steel. Super soft material that then we apply a copper underlay underneath this plating to help it feel even softer.
I'm such a geek. I just got a chill up my spine when you talked about the underlay. It's absolutely gorgeous. Now, when Chris sat down with me today, he ran off to grab another club because Mizuno's booth is right there. They're like 15 feet away from us. And this putter was sitting in the bag. I looked at my guys and I was like, this is absolutely gorgeous. What am I looking at here? What's the story behind this?
So this is the Mcraft X line, and we've been doing some putter things in the past couple of years, but ultimately they've all been around feel. This still has the feel component where we're forging this face and neck, but the cool thing under the hood of this Mcraft X is the ability to be custom fit with it. So if you look from the sole side of it, you can see two large weights. Those weights aren't just for weighting it. Those weights are actually to secure the pieces together.
Oh, so you brought props.
I did.
All right, hold on. Let's get it up to camera too.
So it's a forged face and neck, and this is an aluminum back piece. And these two pieces fit together to give the player the ability to pick the proper neck, proper back, and then the proper weighting, including toe hang and everything.
Can I see the aluminum?
Absolutely.
Look at that.
Ultra lightweight here. And a unique thing about this is the aluminum is so light and this mild carbon steel is heavier. So actually the center of gravity of this plays more like a blade. So it releases like a blade, but gives you the forgiveness of a mallet.
Talk to me about the face.
Yeah,
treatment.
So with that face, we're forging the entire front, but we're then going back and precision milling that face. So that removes a lot of material from the face, it reduces the contact area, makes that sound even softer.
And this particular one that I have, is this standard that you have the shaft so that everything about this is kind of black on black and looks awesome?
Yeah, this is it's called an ED finish on this shaft. To be honest, I don't even know what that stands for, but it's super cool and blacked out. And with this whole family, you've got that blacked out look, and we create 3 different necks and 3 different backs that are all interchangeable. So with that, you got 9 different head shapes you can look at, and when you start mixing and matching weights, you got 81 different possible combinations.
You've been at this for decades, my friend. Are you looking at this technology when we're talking about putters and going, we are able to dial in putter technology now more so than we ever have been able to before?
Absolutely. You know, in the putter world, it's a world where people almost don't get fit and they overlook the value of the fitting. So with us, our goal is to deliver something as easily fittable as possible to give that player the ability to get dialed in perfectly.
It's incredible because he says easily as fittable as possible, which belies how much technology went into the design and the performance.
Yeah.
I'm now holding some wedges in my hand. Again, these look like flowers in the garden because they're absolutely beautiful. This blue finish that you guys use, what do you call it?
It's an ion-plated blue that lives. That ion plating is on top of a soft white satin, and it gives it that nice, like, soft look to it, but still a lot of pop from that blue.
I figured you had some fancy marketing term for the blue, but it's basically
it's a blue ion
yeah.
plating. Yeah.
All right, so talk to us about the wedge offerings, about the different grinds, about the different soles, different lofts.
Sure. So I talked about the S3 a little bit ago, where I talked all things feel and precision. All of that in the Mizuno Pro worked its way to the wedges. So we're utilizing a 1025E Pure Select mild carbon steel. Super soft material. It's going to deliver a great feel from that. Grain flow forged, so you have all those continuous grains that feel awesome. Copper underlay, similar to that iron, that's going to help lower the volume of that impact. But then with wedges, it's all about choices. So with that, we got 6 different sole grinds in the T1.
Ooh.
The T3 is a slight cavity back. That has 3 different sole grinds on there. So with this whole family, tons of different options that you can then pick what color you like, what finish you like, what head shape you like, what sole width, what bounce, what grind. So many possibilities.
Well, this one, the blue, it looks like a 10V.
Yep.
So V is your grind.
The V grind on
I
that one.
love the relief that you gave in the heel right here.
Yeah, that V grind is one where we put a little bit more bounce on that leading edge and expose that for that player who hits down on it, but a ton of trailing edge relief and particularly heel relief. So when you open that up, that leading edge sits really low to the ground.
It's beautiful. It gives you so much versatility in what you're going to do. How is the show going for you so far?
Show's been phenomenal. Yesterday was incredible. Today's already off to a great start. It feels like everybody is stoked to get out and play some golf.
Yeah, and you also have some golf balls in the mix last time we were together.
That's right.
Is that being well received?
For sure. The Mizuno Pro family that I talked about on these irons and wedges has worked its way to the golf ball. And when I talk Mizuno Pro, it's all about feel and precision. Softest feeling ball out there. Great control, really penetrating ball flight. So we're loving those.
It is great to see you, my friend.
Great to see you as well.
Thank you very much. Congratulations with all of this. All right, so we have more coming up here this morning, including one of our dear friends that is stopping by on the Fairways of Life show. It was a huge first couple of days here at the Orange County Convention Center. We kicked it all off on Monday. We had the Irish Golf Day, which is held out at Reunion, and that's when the entire Irish golf trade comes together. As you guys know, I'm an ambassador for Tourism Ireland and speak to the virtues of this magical land. And so to have everybody together to start the week, it's almost like a time, if you will, to breathe before the madness of the show kicks off in earnest, and the madness is swirling all around us, and it has been awesome. Allison Metcalf is here with me, SVP for Tourism Ireland. How are you, my friend? It's good to see you.
I'm fantastic, and I think we were so lucky for the golf day on Monday with the weather.
That's true. I hadn't thought about that. It's been raining ever since. I mean, it was a little cool, but it was fine when it was all said and done. The sun came out.
You dress for it. You have the gear, like when you golf in Ireland. Now.
Yeah, what's that saying? It's never a question of bad weather, just bad clothing choices. Did I get that about right?
Yeah,
somewhere
absolutely.
around there. So Ireland continues to be the top destination in the world for people that want to play links golf, and rightfully so. In my humble opinion, Ireland has the best links golf courses any place in the globe. The reason being is the island is unprotected from the ravages of the Atlantic. It creates these soaring dunes and these plummeting valleys. It is as if God himself came down with a brushstroke and said, I'm going to let you play golf here, and thank goodness for it. What can you tell us about how Ireland is doing on a global scale in terms of the demand?
Oh, well, listen, I think the golfing situation in Ireland, we're in great shape. I mean, this year is obviously a big year for us, Matt. We're hosting the Open Championship back to Royal Portrush.
Yes.
So the eyes of the golfing world are going to be on Northern Ireland and indeed on the island of Ireland. And then we ramp up to 2027, and we've got obviously the Ryder Cup coming back. So demand for Irish golf is phenomenal. And I think, ever since we came out of COVID, with more people playing golf as well, I think so we're trying to broaden the appeal of Irish golf. I mean, the buddies trips will always be there, but I think Ireland is becoming, I was seeing more interest from women, from couples golf, and so it's in really great shape. And I think, at the end of the day, we're still home to 1/3 of the world's links courses. We've got great places to stay, fantastic things to do off the course, whether it's food tours, sightseeing and culture. And as you know, and you've experienced on many occasions, it is the warmth of the welcome, that unique brand of hospitality that we like to extend to all our visitors. So we think we've got the best 19th hole.
There's no doubt about that. I want to focus on that for just a second when we're talking about everything outside the golf. The golf has its merits, and we'll circle back around to it. But when you talk about the culture, when you talk about the history, when you talk about the people, when you talk about the pubs and, as they say, the crack, the Irish word for fun, all of that is so important that, honestly, I've had multiple trips. As you guys know, I get back to Ireland 5-6 times a year. I've had multiple trips where I've come over, and I know this is going to sound like blasphemy, where I'm not there to play golf. I'm there to play Ireland. I'm there to do everything else that there is on offer. And I've gone many times. I just went with Donna, my wife, last time. We went into, as you imagine, Killarney. And she brought me places. Allison, I'm excited to tell you, and shamed at the same time. She brought me to old monastery ruins. We saw old castles that we did tours of. We saw stage shows. We had delicious meals. We went and saw every band that we could see in Killarney, which, as I'm saying that, I'm smiling because she knows that means we made a lot of stops. But let's talk about the virtues of Ireland outside the golf in depth.
Yeah, I think when we look at why do Americans and why do travelers in general want to go to Ireland, it is that history, it's that heritage. They want to explore new places, that sense of exploration. They want to explore new cultures, and you can do that very easily in Ireland. I mean, through the people, through the music, through the language. And people nowadays, they want to get involved. They don't want to be passive travelers. So whether you go on a food tour, you do a cooking class, or you learn to bake brown bread, or you learn to play the baron or something like that. There's lots of those unique experiences. Yeah. So whether it's food, culture, other outdoor activities, sea kayaking, hiking, cycling, as well as golf, there's something for everybody. And I think when people are looking at where they're going to travel for golf and for other reasons, they want to feel that there's a lot of things to do, there's lots of options, and I think Ireland offers that. And as you know, if you do plan a golf trip, you typically we suggest people base themselves in one region rather than trying to sort of drive around the whole island. Yeah. And if you're traveling with partners, non-golfers, or with other family members, there's always something that can be organized very easily. So we're finding that golf and more approach to travel planning is becoming increasingly popular.
Awesome. And some of the things I was mentioning to you guys when we were there that we took advantage of along these lines was using the rail system, because it gives you a glimpse of the country that you probably have never had before if you're just on motorways and getting a glimpse from that. We took a guided tour. Again, I did a lot of stuff I haven't done before, I admitted to. We took a guided tour down the Ring of Kerry. Yep. We stopped in Waterville and had lunch, and I looked longingly over at the Waterville Links, which was all brilliant. Now, before we let you go, in the couple minutes that we have left here, I also want to talk to you about bringing down the barriers of, call it, fear of logistics, because you have all kinds of tour operators that can help you. You've got Tourism Ireland that can help you, Ireland.com with the information that they have available, but also the ease and access to Ireland is as good as it's ever been.
Absolutely. I mean, this year we have direct flights to 22 US gateways. New cities include Nashville, Indianapolis, and Detroit. And of course, we continue to have great access to Shannon, which the golfers love. Yeah. Gateway to the Wild Atlantic Way from New York, Boston, and Chicago. So in terms of logistics, I would encourage people to use a specialist golf tour operator. They can make your life easy. They can give you that turnkey experience. They can get you the tee times, and they will customize that for you and just take all of the pain out of and hassle out of organizing things. And so Ireland.com, easy to get to, and use a tour operator. And if you're planning to go this year, book now, because we're getting busy.
No doubt about that. Now, there's one more thing I want to brag about, because Northern Ireland, you mentioned it, but I want to touch on it again. Royal Portrush is once again hosting the Open. My surname Adams, we're from Northern Ireland, we're from Armagh. And it is so cool that we have the Open back in Northern Ireland. I thought the way that the island embraced it the last time we were there, sold it out, to have Shane win the Open on that island was incredible. How excited are you guys to have the eyes of the world focus back?
Oh, we're super excited. I mean, it's incredible, and we'll be looking to build on that legacy. The fact that it's come back just 6 years later, I think, is testament to the success. And as you said, it was a sellout, but I think everybody on the island of Ireland, they want to put on a good show, they want to support it, and they want the rest of the world to see that. So it's really exciting for us. I think it's certainly going to put Ireland and Northern Ireland and that northwest corner again really on the map. Yeah, we're really excited, and we're looking forward to another great tournament. And fingers crossed, when whoever comes down that final fairway on the 18th this time around, it's not lashing rain.
Oh, but if it is, it is. I'm not worried about that. I'll have my waterproofs on doing the radio out there. Looking forward to it. So proud of you guys. So glad that it continues to flourish, and rightfully should it. I'm so happy that the world realizes in earnest how special Ireland is. It is truly a magical place. What I always like to say to people is, don't get stressed about it. Let Ireland come to you, because it will. We'll be back with more of the Fairways of Life show right after this. Great to see you, Allison. Stay with us, folks.
In Ireland, golf is more than just a game. Come and experience our world-famous links courses and our world-famous parkland courses, all set alongside world-famous scenery. And visit our world-famous historic sites. And while you're here, enjoy our world-famous hospitality. Fill your heart with Ireland at ireland.com/golf.
Ben Hogan Golf Equipment is back. Established in 1953, we serve golfers who demand excellence of their equipment. Designed by the game's best engineers, forged in the world's best foundries, and built to order in the USA. Don't settle for off-the-rack disappointment. Elevate your game with custom clubs at direct-to-consumer pricing. Exclusively at benhogangolf.com. That's benhogangolf.com.
The best feeling iron I've ever hit. Introducing the new Gen 7 irons, the greatest leap forward in irons technology, in performance, in PXG history. Our new quantum core material explodes off the face. Are you kidding me? The Gen 7 irons deliver groundbreaking new levels of forgiveness, speed, distance, and feel. That's what I'm talking about right there. Look at that trajectory. Just phenomenal. Gen 7. It doesn't get any better.
PXG, nobody makes golf clubs the way we do, period.
Baseball? Nah. Football? Done it. I think I'm gonna go after PGA Tour.
Playing on the PGA Tour is not easy. But you know what is easy? Hitting the 524 series from Tour Edge.
Hitting linebackers and home runs used to be easy.
Out here, you're gonna need all the easy you can get. Introducing the 524 series from Tour Edge. The easiest clubs you'll ever hit. Even the best players in the world can use a little easy.
I like the sound of that. Look out, PGA Tour. Pound for pound, nothing comes close.
What would your ultimate golf experience be like? Just you and a friend? Or would you round up some buddies for a foursome? Just one day? Or an entire week? There's a good chance your ultimate golf experience could be Michigan's magnificent 10. 10 incredible courses set among 3 remarkable resorts. See for yourself. Book your ultimate golf experience today.
Our journey began with a simple yet powerful vision to provide the world with the highest quality Virginia-type peanuts. The Hubbard Peanut Company, where quality and tradition meet to create an unforgettable experience. Visit hubspeanuts.com to explore our full range of products and place your order today.
Every January, PGA Tour Superstore pros meet every manufacturer, learn about the latest equipment, log thousands of hours of training, and together hit over 100,000 balls. All so they can get you the perfect fit.
When you choose Newton shafts, you're choosing more than a product. You're choosing innovation, pride, and excellence right here in America. We pay attention to the minutest of details, and you can feel that in the performance of our shafts.
All right, let's keep the train running here live from the PGA show, and we welcome your company from wherever you are joining us around the globe. Jeff Brunsky's joining me right now from Cleveland. I'm holding the ZX5, the ZX7 in my hand. I think in terms of irons that I've seen available on the marketplace, it was last year too, for that matter, these are probably the best looking overall package, Jeff, but I know that there's a tremendous amount of technology that's built into these. You know what, do you mind if we start with the ZX5?
Sure.
All right, let's talk about that, because I want to start here. I want to talk about, we rarely get a chance to talk about sole geometry and what you've done here with the V sole that you have on it, the width of this sole. This is a launching pad.
Yeah, the ZXi5 is really the player's distance iron. So we're talking about a player's shape, beautiful to dress, but a ton of ball speed packed into that. So it's a two-piece iron that has a forged body, so you're going to get that very soft feel, but then it's a high-strength steel face for the extra ball speed. But like you mentioned, the Tour VT sole is sort of a signature feature of the Srixon irons. That's part of the secret sauce of why these feel so pure. So that's in every model this generation.
All right, ZXi5, I said ZX5, it's ZXi5. Now, again, I can see it right here. This looks like tungsten.
Yep, there's some tungsten in the toe.
All right, talk to us about what you designed in terms of helping people strike the ball as best they can regardless of swing type.
Yeah, I'll key in on, it was the ZX5, the previous generation. So it's the ZXi5 now, which stands for iForged. So we have a number of new forging processes throughout all of the models to help players, like you said, strike the ball more consistently and get more pure feel. So in this one, we've literally put strength, a new forging process across the top line to reinforce the strength there, which allows us to make the face feel a little bit softer and get a little bit hotter. So it's a forging process we've never before been able to do. That's really what sort of underpinned this whole generation of irons.
I know you guys had hopes that when you design a product that the marketplace is going to embrace it, it's going to take off. Has this series been even more successful than what you thought it would be?
I think among the elite fitters, the people who know and who see these things on a launch monitor and see what players can do with them, word is out. I think word is getting out to a wider audience now. We've won 2 tournaments out of 3 on the PGA Tour this year, so couldn't have asked for a better start to the year. I think that the Srixon brand has got some serious momentum.
The ZXi5, who is this designed for?
It's designed for a player, probably a 10 and lower handicap, someone who likes a player's iron and wants to be able to work the ball, but is looking for that extra distance. Our tour staff uses these in a 4-iron and a 5-iron, where maybe you don't need, even if you're the best player in the world, you might want a little bit more forgiveness. So the Srixon irons are really built to be combined if you want to build a set of the ZXi5, the ZXi7, the utility iron. So they blend quite well, and that's intentional.
You know, it's funny because Srixon doesn't need street cred, but these irons are giving you this kind of gritty, like you said, best fitters, really good players are getting the word out to say these are really, really well engineered and very special irons. Aside from being beautiful, obviously they're gorgeous. I told you that.
Helps.
But the engineering is unbelievable. Let's keep going because we're going to run out of time because I'm geeking out on these irons. This is the ZXi7. What could you tell us about this one in contrast to and the technology of?
So the ZXi7 is the player's model. That's a single piece of forged soft S15 steel, which is one of the softest materials I think in the market. It's the softest material we've ever used. I was talking about those new forging processes, so we had to kind of unlock some things from the engineering side to use a material that soft. This is what almost our entire tour staff is using. Extremely pure feel. If you want to work the ball, control your ball flight, that's the iron for you.
Name names.
We're talking about Brooks Koepka, we're talking about Keegan Bradley, Shane Lowry. This is their model. Hideki's in the blade, so he's not playing this one, but you know, the majority of our tour staff is playing this iron.
Absolutely gorgeous. Okay, we've got a couple minutes left here. I knew we were going to do this, dude. I knew we were going to get into it. A couple of irons here. Let's run through these quickly.
Okay, the ZXi4 is more of a game improvement iron, so that's got a lot of the Srixon tech in it, but it's hollow body, a little bit bigger, a little bit more forgiving. So if you're just getting into the 15 handicap to 10 handicap, that's probably your model. And the utility is really a favorite among the tour staff. This is week in and week out one of the most popular utilities on the PGA Tour. We've put our Tour VT sole on it this generation, so it's got everything we can offer. It's it's extremely popular
Beautiful.
out there.
You brought these with you for a reason. There's no
Yeah,
doubt in my
let's
mind.
get into it.
Let's talk about some wedges. We got about a minute left here.
Okay. The RTZ wedge from Cleveland, this is also our tour blade wedge. So we make a game improvement wedge. We make other wedges for different players. But if you're a better player, the RTZ is your wedge. And if you're familiar with Cleveland wedges, they've been called RTX for the past 6 generations. The Z stands for Z alloy. That is an entirely new material that our engineering team came up with.
And what's the performance like off that new material? Why'd you do it?
Yeah, so the reason we did that is we figured there had to be something better than the material that everyone's been using for decades. It does a few things. It's a little bit softer, feels better. It frees up a little bit of mass. So when you look at the design of that wedge, you can see that we've actually done some intentional shaping to get better and more consistent performance. And in the raw model, it does not rust, which is a benefit and is going to get you more consistent spin for the life of your wedge.
Very cool. How's the reaction been the first couple days?
Easily the best introduction we've had on tour because they helped us develop it. So it went right in the bag. We've already got a win with it. It's extremely exciting time.
People liking it here at the show?
Absolutely. A lot of people talk about the design, but we want to, there's a lot of engineering, but we're happy to hear how good they look too.
Cool. Great seeing you. Good luck with everything. I know you're heading home today. Safe travels to you and good luck out in the LA area to you and to everybody else. Back with more of the Fairways of Life show. We're live from the 2025 PGA show right after this. Paulie the Muscleback is here.
I got ball fit in 2000, went on a little run. Then Bridgestone fit me again, and I went on another run. I just got fit again for the new Tour BX. The ball fitting's been helping me. Will it help you?
What would your ultimate golf experience be like? Just you and a friend? Or would you round up some buddies for a foursome? Just one day? Or an entire week? There's a good chance your ultimate golf experience could be Michigan's magnificent 10. 10 incredible courses set among 3 remarkable resorts. See for yourself. Book your ultimate golf experience today.
I think when you're training for other sports, or why most people go to the gym is so that they can have muscles and be strong and be healthy. And a lot of the reason why they struggle to play golf is their body doesn't move properly for them to be able to hit a golf ball. And when you're training for golf, it's a little bit different because you're focused more on flexibility and mobility and being strong in motion. When you're able to kind of have a warm up and have a workout routine and kind of gradually build up to where you're training your body to move properly, yeah, you're going to get a lot of big dividends on the golf course.
Super easy to hit. Introducing the new PXG Black Ops irons, our first game improvement iron.
It's a larger face heel to toe.
It launches the ball high in the air and really far.
Much higher levels of forgiveness. You set that club down, creates a lot of confidence. It's supported by this X-Core all-in material.
And that's where you get improved ball speed. If you're looking for a distance, forgiveness, and feel, Black Ops iron is going to be for you.
PXG, nobody makes golf clubs the way we do, period.
Stride by Zero Friction, the first of its kind personal caddy. Walk in comfort and style with Stride's remote and follow me technology. The Stride handles almost any terrain, and its 54-hole range will last all day. The lightweight design and removable front wheels makes it simple to handle. Plus, it easily fits golf carts. Pick up your Stride today at a local PGA Tour Superstore near you or at zerofriction.com/Stride. Stride, your personal caddy.
Every January, PGA Tour Superstore pros meet every manufacturer, learn about the latest equipment, log thousands of hours of training, and together hit over 100,000 balls. All so they can get you the perfect fit.
So as you guys know, the reason why we are broadcasting live from the PGA show is to give you a chance to really see and understand the products that are the stars of the 2025 season to come, to truly understand how and why these products will benefit your game. Henry Johnson is the CEO and founder of FlightScope, and he's got an array of products here on his lap. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Where would you like to start? What's the most important message for the world?
So I think the most relevant one is how can I improve my golf? There's a lot of data out there, there's a lot of technology out there, and in the next 5 years, nobody's going to recognize the world that we live in due to AI and everything that's being brought, to the world. We have something here this year that I think will truly change your game, make your score better. So let's start with that, which is the FlightScope i4 rangefinder. Now, this is not the traditional rangefinder. What we have here is a very sophisticated caddy. Now, I developed this with all my work with Bryson DeChambeau and Tim Tucker back then, providing increments for the day on every club based on the weather, the specific data of the clubs. We made it simple. All you need as a user, you need your home location, and you have to know maybe one carry distance of one of your clubs, say your 7-iron at your home. You enter that into our app, the app connects to the laser, and then when you shoot a distance, then what you're going to get is two simple things. Number one, you're going to get an effective playing distance for you here and now, and you're going to get a club recommendation that you won't be able to fault. How we do that is pretty complex, but we made it simple. So you get two things: effective playing distance here and now, based on the weather, based on the elevations, based even on the wind. You can select on the system, on the laser, you can select the wind direction into downwind or anything in between. So the back end is really complex, but we took that away from everybody so you don't have to worry about it. If you do own a FlightScope, you can actually nominate a gapping session and you can have your data for every single club. But for most people, and even for myself, I'm quite happy with what we call the smart gapping. We have 3 patents behind this. We have something called the environmental optimizer, which basically takes into account everything related to weather. In other words, absolute air pressure, temperature, the relative humidity, the wind speed and direction, and we can calculate exactly your trajectories for every single club.
This is unbelievable.
But that happens in the back end. That's on the app. So you just have to have your phone within 30 feet of the laser, and then you can use this to give you a spot-on measurement.
So you connect this via Bluetooth.
Yes.
You do that one 7-iron, as you said, or whatever club you want to do that shows it. The gapping all kicks in. I have to back up on something that I'm amazed by. You're taking into account variables, including humidity and weather and how cold it is, et cetera, et cetera. This is like a caddy in your pocket.
Absolutely, and this is possibly your best caddy. You can compare this to, as I say, somebody like a Tim Tucker that caddied for Bryson, that I worked for, and I sat at like Bay Hill in the morning before a tournament on my computer calculating the increments for every single club for the day, and the caddy would take that down. Now this is that caddy in your pocket because it means that for your swings, for your clubs and the weather wherever you are, whether it's Denver, Mexico City or here in Orlando, the weather is going to change.
It's unbelievable.
And the air density actually changes all the time. People always think about altitude, and that's just an indication of the air column above us, but it doesn't give you an exact air pressure. The air pressure you have to measure. Now we get that from the local weather station. We make it simple for you. The calculation's done in the back end, and you will improve your game because this will give you confidence. And if you play against your friends, you can take their money because you're going to get the confidence that, say there's a 3 or 4 club wind. I don't feel comfortable when I think it's a 4 club wind. I'm most possibly going to take 1 or 2 clubs. But sometimes you have to take 4 clubs into the wind. Downwind is another story. The laser, the FlightScope i4 laser, is absolutely next level, and I don't think there's anything today that'll match the accuracy and the consistency of this unit.
Henry, who was the mad scientist that came up with all this?
I'm the only crazy guy in the company. I've got great scientists and engineers with me, but I keep everybody busy, and of course, this is what I do.
All right, ergonomic design in this rangefinder. I like the way that you built this thing for all weather conditions, and it's not big, it's not bulky. All of that information, all that data, all that benefit is in this package.
Well, it gets transmitted to the package, so the magic happens on your phone. In the back end. It's very complex, but we took the complexity out because what we believe is, how many more parameters can we dish out? Everybody knows our, FlightScope Mevo Plus, which is a absolute hit in the market, and then if you want the best, this is the FlightScope X3.
All right, let me switch with you. I'm going to give you back that. Tell me what I'm holding in my hand.
Okay, so you have something in your hand that everybody wants to own, and if you really want the best, this is it. It's a carbon fiber system.
Oh yeah.
It is beautiful. It's the best we have. It tracks the ball from launch to land. Now that's for the person that wants the best, it feels good. It looks good. It performs fantastic. Do you need it? Do you really need it? I don't know. You need to figure it out. But most men, we buy things because we want it, not because we need it, and that's fine. So this one, if you really test it out, you're going to love it. I mean, things like the face impact location, it's impeccable. There's nothing out there comparing to the accuracy of the FlightScope X3B, C rather, the carbon. And even the Mevo Plus can give you a face impact location if you take that option. But this is the one to have for the connoisseur. But you don't need that in order to improve your golf. I would start definitely with an i4, the FlightScope i4 laser, because this is going to improve your golf. And then we have a little software piece that you can buy once off, which is the planning tool. It comes also from my experience with Tim Tucker and so, where you can actually plan for every time slot of the day, 48 hours in advance, based on your gapping session. Again, you can use our smart gapping tool, one club that you provide, your carry distance, home location, and then say, for instance, you want to go and play tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock in Denver. God forbid you do, but it's a little cold there now. But, or whatever you want to do, you can get, for every time slot, you're going to get your increments for your club without wind, into the wind, and downwind. And you can print that out and take that to the course, because you can do that in competition. You can't take your electronics, but you can take a printout. And I think that that particular planning tool is money in your pocket. And especially if you play against friends for money, you have to use the planning tool because you will take their money.
I love it. Is this in the marketplace right now?
So it's it's on the stores. I think we start shipping middle of February, so in a few weeks' time. Of course, you can use the normal laser function, and if you use the FlightScope function, the little red light will come on, and that's of course not legal in competition.
Right.
But during practice rounds or when you go out there, I mean, that you're going to learn a lot.
It's absolutely fantastic, and if it is crazy, it is crazy good, because there is absolutely nothing else like it. Henry, good to see you.
Fantastic.
Thank you for stopping by, my friend.
Thank you for having us.
It really was a joy. I'm going to hand all these different pieces back to you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to hand it back to you very, very slowly because I don't want to drop it.
That's fine.
It was really was a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank
Folks,
you.
it has been an amazing 2025 PGA show. As yet, you can see some of the data there, the touch points that talk about why this show has been so incredible in 2025. Amongst the fact that now in retrospect we look back at it and we know that this is the largest show that we've had in more than a decade and a half. What's happening in the game of golf is critically important. And what I mean by that, folks, is that the game of golf right now has a dichotomy. And the dichotomy is at the game's highest competitive levels, the elite level of the game, you have a divide. The divide is between the PGA Tour and Live Golf and other tours. We believe and we hope that the game will find a way to come back together again. And we believe that in earnest, that is being worked on. But as a result, many people view that and go, well, the game of golf is in disarray. As you can see in the 1.1 million plus square feet surrounding me, this game is not in disarray at all. In fact, the game itself, from a business side, is in a better place than it's ever been before. We have record numbers of people playing the game of golf right now. That is all of you. And what drives the whole industry, the lifeblood of the business side of this game, are you. So the product is getting better and better and better because there's more of you and more demand out there to bring it all together. What I love about this show, and I talk about it all the time, this show is not about the trade in any particular sense, like you'd say how much money was exchanged, and it's billions of dollars, and it's significant, and it deserves to be mentioned, and I do. However, the real currency here is hope, and it's dreams. Your hope that you'll have more fun, your hope that you'll play a little bit better when you're out on the golf course, their hope that their dream will catch on and become the next big product in the marketplace. All of that is what makes the PGA show every single year as special as it is. It is special to have your company, and we thank you for sharing part of your day with us over the last couple of days. And until we are together again, I wish you to be well, and goodbye for now.